You know, I'm just going to say, please drink responsibly. I'm not even going to show what this is, but I'm going to open one up as a celebratory drink as Edmonton, they hang on just barely to defeat the Los Angeles Kings 6-4. And in what was just a back and forth bonkers game. I don't even know how to describe what I just watched. I am just pouring sweat right now. Edmonton moves on for the fourth straight season against the Los Angeles Kings. Give me 1 second here, folks. Oh, Jesus. A little wobbly pop, right? If you're having a drink at home, drink responsibly. That is a celebratory beer for myself, just so that I don't get caught by, a company that wants to make money off my video. I'm hiding the label. Some of you probably know what it was, though. The Edmonton Oilers, they find a way. And the turning point of this series was absolutely Game 3. There is so much to talk about from this game specifically, though, that we're just going to jump right into it. I think the fan reaction tonight, we're just going to jump right into it. And the first period was absolutely bonkers. But before I get into the game, before I get too serious into the game, all this stuff, I need to give a huge shout out Los Angeles Kings fans. Seriously. And any fan that's tuning into this video right now, whatever time you're tuning into this, whether it's the night of the Oilers win, whether it's the next day or whenever, Los Angeles Kings fan, I just want to give you a massive shout out. You have been incredible the entire first round. You have been good sports. You've tuned into videos. You've tuned into live streams. You have submitted support through super chats, through donations. The amount of engagement that you have allowed me to have on the channel, it has been incredible. You have been good sports. Nobody has crap talked at all. And, there's some chirping here and there, right? That's sports, right? That's sports. We chirp each other. It's all in good fun. Kings fans, seriously, I have to give the biggest shout out to all of you tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Obviously, I don't know who you're going to bandwagon with. This is probably a loss that stings a lot. I think the Kings probably had their best chance to defeat the Oilers in the postseason in the last 4 seasons. They had the 2-0 series lead. The Oilers won 4 straight. They came back in Game 3. They came back in Game 4. The Kings had a 1-goal lead in Game 5. And then tonight, the Kings also had a lead. But the Oilers, they just don't go away. They find a way to hang on, even when it looks terrible, even when it looks like Edmonton is going to get absolutely run over. What a series this was. I don't even know how to describe how insane of a series this was. I'm at a loss for words with these two teams. Obviously, Kings fans, Kings players, there's probably a ton of disappointment. Jim Hiller likely coached his final game behind the bench for the LA Kings. Too little too late for his line adjustments. He tried to win this series as early as he could. I mentioned in the series preview a couple weeks ago, or about a week and a half ago, that if this series goes 6 or 7 games, it favors the Edmonton Oilers because of how top-heavy LA plays and because of how many minutes they rely on some of their more veteran players. Guys like Philip Darnell, Anze Kopitar, Drew Doughty, Joel Edmondson. It is a tough ask for these older, not on the right side of 30 age players to play at an elite level consistently for a 7-game series. And this was an ugly game for Edmonton. I actually think the Oilers are pretty lucky to get out of that one with the win. The Kings, they pushed. The Oilers, they bent. They did not break. Calvin Pickard, probably his worst game of the series, but he's now 4-0. We're going to go over some of the goals through the Edge Visualizer. A couple goals from the Kings that I want to talk about. A couple breakdowns from Edmonton. We'll go over a couple of goals from the Oilers. One specifically, though, it was the Darnell Nurse goal. We have to talk about that one because of a certain player that did something so amazing. It reminded me of the 2002 Olympics, Team Canada against Team USA. Mario Lemieux letting a puck go through his legs. Of course, you already know who I'm talking about if you're tuning in. And then I will answer some fan questions and comments, and then we will end it there. I am just, listen, I just finished the live stream 5 minutes ago, so this is a, if I'm kind of out of it, that's why. I just want to let you know if I'm kind of out of it, that is why. But we're going to go over the Edge visualizer here. I'm going to just scroll. We're going to open the post-game browser. We're going to take a look at Darnell Nurse's goal, the 4-2 goal for Edmonton. This was the goal that I want to talk about specifically. The Oilers get the rush opportunity. Victor Arvidsson cuts through the middle. He plays it to Janmark, who quickly one-touches it across the ice to Podkolzin. And this play specifically is unbelievable by Matthias Janmark. Podkolzin stops up. He's looking to play it back into the middle. And you know what Janmark does? He lets this puck go through his legs. Through his legs. Unbelievable read by Janmark. He knows Darnell Nurse is there. That is just one of the greatest plays. It is a thing of beauty. As soon as it happened, as soon as Nurse scored, I immediately commented on it during the live stream. It reminded me of Mario Lemieux letting the pass go through his legs across the ice. I believe it went to Paul Kariya or Joe Sakic. I can't remember who it was. I think chat told me it was Paul Kariya. Ended up scoring on Mike Richter, who was in net for Team USA during the Olympics in 2002. Salt Lake City. Don't ask me how that just unlocked a memory, but that's the memory that it unlocked. Letting the pass go through the skates. Darnell Nurse has all the time in the world to walk in, and he literally just shoots it right through Darcy Kemper. And what a goal for Darnell Nurse. As much as Darnell Nurse struggled, I would say, defensively in this game, his offensive instincts and his ability to produce when it mattered most was absolutely key in Edmonton's win tonight. I also want to give a huge shout out to Connor Brown, who blocked the initial shot attempt by Doughty when there was only a few seconds left in the game. He tries to send it all the way down with the net empty. Connor McDavid missed an empty net. Leon Draisaitl had an opportunity to shoot at an empty net and decided not to. The Kings, they pressed, they made it a 1-goal game, and Connor Brown seems to be the only guy that can actually put a puck into the empty net, his third goal of the series. And when we take a look at the box score here, take a look at the Oilers, take a look at who's producing here. Where's Leon Draisaitl? Right? Where is Draisaitl on the production? Connor Brown had 3 points in this game, a +3 rating. Zach Hyman, 2 points. Trent Frederic, his best game of the series. He only played .921, but boy, oh boy, was he effective. Nugent-Hopkins, 2 points. Janmark with an assist. Adam Henrique with a goal. Podkolzin an assist. McDavid an assist. Now Draisaitl, his point streak against the Kings in the playoffs comes to an end. The big guns were not producing, but they didn't need them. Their depth has shown up in a big way for Edmonton, and I could not be happier. I legitimately could not be happier. It was an absolutely terrific performance from the Oilers' depth. Their role players, Nugent-Hopkins, power play goal. Now, the Kings, they ended up with 2 power plays in this game. I'm not going to complain about the officiating, but boy, oh boy, I think both teams got away with a lot of absolute nonsense. Darnell Nurse, he had himself a goal and an assist. Kulak with an assist. Bouchard, no points, but that's okay. John Klingberg, another +2 rating. Ty Emberson, not a lot of ice time, only played 7:05. Would have liked to see a little bit more ice time for Emberson. I thought he did well, especially on the kills, but the Oilers, they're going top heavy. They're relying on these 4 D-men, and then John Klingberg, again, he's having a terrific series. He's having a terrific playoffs. Could not be happier. Now, Calvin Pickard, we're going to see the .852 save percentage. Fans are going to complain about it. I totally understand, but he made the saves that he should make. A couple of those goals, he had literally 0 opportunity to make a save. Calvin Pickard, he came up clutch. In all honesty, he came up clutch. But if you take a look at the deserved to win meter, it looks like the Oilers, they're saying they had the better chances. Deserved to win meter says 75% of the time the Oilers come out on top. If we scroll down the expected goals in all situations, the Kings really did press in the third period, and I thought the Oilers did a good job too, trying to get a couple more goals, but the Kings, when they made it that 1-goal game, oh my God, how many of you were stressing out? If you take a look at the expected goals at 5-on-5 for individual players, Connor Brown led the way for Edmonton, 88%. The lowest Oiler, Matthias Janmark. But don't let the stats fool you. The eye test said Janmark had a great game. I thought Arvidsson also had a great game for Edmonton. Now, Darcy Kemper, he's dinged for a -1.28 goal save above expected, and a few Oilers fans are going to go after Calvin Pickard, but he was almost even in the goals saved above expected. That last goal that got by him, I don't know, man. I think it deflected off something. I don't think he had a real opportunity. It was a tough one. It's one of those situations where obviously you want an extra save. And I think they could have gotten an extra save here and there, but some of the saves that he made, and of course, towards the end of the game, Mikey Anderson absolutely bowled him over. For some reason, they did not call a penalty. I'm not really sure what the logic was there. But with that out of the way, I'm going to get into some of the fan questions and comments. And then, of course, I also want to give a shout out here to Flames Nation. Now, I don't know what's going on over there. I saw a couple videos in my feed the other day from the series where they're talking about it. Now, I don't know these guys' names because I haven't even done that much research. And I'm not someone that ever throws shade towards anyone on this platform because it's not who I am. But there's a couple guys on Flames Nation, or at least were part of Flames Nation's YouTube channel, that were wearing Kings jerseys when they were up 2-0 in the series. They were Flames fans. These are Flames fans wearing Kings jerseys. Now, obviously, they're the biggest Oilers haters. I totally understand. But boy, oh boy, as the series progressed, when they were creating content, those jerseys came off pretty quickly. And I just want to know how they're feeling. Flames Nation, what do you think about those guys wearing those LA Kings jerseys? I don't know about that. Listen, as an Oilers fan and as a certified Calgary Flames hater, you would never, ever find me wearing the jersey of the Los Angeles Kings. If it was the Kings versus the Flames in the first round and the Oilers did not make the playoffs, I wouldn't be wearing a Kings jersey. What are we doing here? Wild. Absolutely wild. I don't understand what that was. I wanted to call it out tonight, though, because I thought it was a little bit strange that Flames fans would do that. Listen, Flames fans, if you're tuning in, we're obviously catching a few strays here. Probably not happy about that, but I don't know what's going on over at Flames Nation. Someone's got to explain to me what the logic of that was, because I was very confused watching those videos. I was like, why are these guys wearing Kings jerseys? It's one thing to hate the Oilers, but to actively wear the colors of another division rival? Strange. Not calling anyone out specifically. Like I said, I don't even know who these guys' names are, but I wanted to absolutely mention it because I thought it was pretty silly. But let's get into the fan questions and comments. First things first, we'll start on Twitter or X.com. Tyler says, has Pickles ascended to God status? I mean, obviously, no, but I'm very happy with Calvin Pickard's start or play. Do you slot in Jeff Skinner versus Vegas to see if he matches up better in that series? If so, who do you take out? At the end of the day, the team has won 4 straight. Until they lose, don't take anybody out of the lineup. I'd love to see Jeff Skinner in, but the team is winning. Keep the lineup the exact same. I'm superstitious that way. There's no reason to change things up. Dog says Skinner loses this game without a question. Pickard is the permanent number 1. I mean, poor Stuart Skinner catching strays right now. I don't entirely disagree, but I am very happy with Calvin Pickard's play. Northern says, I think you almost have to roll with exactly the lineup that won you 4 in a row. I want Skinner in the lineup, but genuinely, I don't know who you pull out at this point. Agreed 100%. D- says, I don't have a question. I just wanted to say, let's go Oilers. Love to see that. Connor McDrysaddle asks, thoughts on Calvin Pickard? Got the job done. That's all you can ask for. Tyler again also says, actually that was a response, never mind. Nick says, where's this lack of depth I keep hearing people talk about? 18 of 20 of our skaters have recorded at least 1 point. Josh Brown and Ty Emberson are the only ones who have not recorded a point. Of course, Josh Brown has only played 5 minutes. Ty Emberson gets 8 minutes a night. So you know what? That's fair. Play La Bamba, oil country. Absolutely, Nick. Great observation. Love to hear that. JH says, all depth tonight. Connor Brown is the best Connor on the team. He absolutely is. Connor Brown, seriously. Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark, I don't know what it is about the playoffs, but they literally turn into Wayne Gretzky when it comes to playoff performance. These guys are clutch. They understand what they need to do. They understand their role, and they show up when it matters most. And Bajinkles, last question from Twitter. All right, time to hire an empty net coach / analyst. Only Brown is exempt from empty net trainings. I don't know why this team is allergic to empty net goals. They've been allergic all season long, and tonight was no exception. I'm happy Connor Brown put that puck into the net for Edmonton. And then I also wanted to show everyone hockey picks that go insanely hard. Look at Darnell Nurse. Look at the smoke coming out of both sides of his head. Look at the vein through his neck. Oh boy, you love to see that. Darnell Nurse, absolutely insane. What a great photo that is from the Edmonton Oilers. And Darnell Nurse came up clutch tonight. Great offense tonight. Defense, little bit questionable, but we'll talk about that in the day after tomorrow. Now, let's get to some of the Discord questions. I'm going to scroll up here. Because where did I post the, oh man, here we go. So there's quite a few comments. I'm not going to get to everyone, so I will answer a couple questions. Yan says, another year, another series dub. We have buried those Gretzky stealing Kings in the oil sands like we always do. Let's go Oilers. Yan is obviously having a terrific night. Oh boy. Z says, who do we trade Stu for to get a backup for Pickard? Also, Vegas will be our test. We need to come at the next round cautiously. Hopefully we get Ekholm back. Don't know if Ekholm is going to be back. No idea what Ekholm's situation is. Obviously, him in the lineup makes us even better. I like Edmonton's chances against Vegas. Minnesota gave Vegas all they could ask for. We'll see what the Oilers end up doing, but I'm not looking too far ahead right now. I'm just enjoying the win tonight. Russian Egg says Oilers did better in the last 4 games in offense than the entire season, and a lot of the depth showing up when it matters most. Love to see that. Fleecy asks, what was your favorite goal? My favorite goal tonight was absolutely the Darnell Nurse goal when Matthias Janmark let that pass go through his legs. Thing of beauty. That is absolutely incredible. Incredible play by Matthias Janmark. You love to see it. That is my favorite goal, probably of the entire series, not just tonight, the whole series. P says Calvin Pickard should be the starter. His ability to lock things down when it matters the most has earned him the start, in my honest opinion. Yeah, he's the starter moving forward, right? His stats are obviously not great, but the team, they're comfortable in front of him. The offense is there, and they trust him. And Pickard, of course, does make the big saves. Tonight, that's the first time he gave up a goal in the third period, and it came with just under a minute to play. I trust Calvin Pickard as this playoff progresses. You cannot go back to Stuart Skinner. This is Pickard's net. We'll scroll down. Erica says, start Pickard for the whole playoffs. Give him 30 million times 8-year contract in the offseason. Pickard for the Rocket, Richard, Vezina, Art Ross, and Selke. Now listen, I could petition the NHL on your behalf. I don't think they're going to listen to me, though. Pickard should absolutely be the starter moving forward. Sounds like the Discord is absolutely in agreement that Calvin Pickard is the starter moving forward. There's no reason why you would change anything up. And wow. Hold on, folks. Taking a breather. Just taking a breather, enjoying this. It's a long road. It's a long road to the Stanley Cup finals. And I'm not even looking that far ahead. But the Stanley Cup playoffs in general, it is a grind. It's good to enjoy the game tonight. It's good to enjoy that win. Of course, I would never encourage anyone to, lower that excitement level, lower the heart rate. Enjoy the night. Have some drinks, have some fun, hang out with friends, get all jacked up before Edmonton plays Vegas. But it is a long road. And, of course, Oilers fans know just as good as anyone that has been on that road before what it takes to get there. I think we can all acknowledge that tonight was nowhere near Edmonton's best game. Their best game of the series was Game 5. Tonight, I actually think they got lucky. They got away with a win. They probably stole one. I know the advanced stats say that Edmonton had the advantage, but the Kings, they had a lot of looks. Calvin Pickard did have to make some big saves. If the Oilers want to go on a big run in the Stanley Cup playoffs this season, if they want to even have a chance to beat Vegas, they are going to have to manage the puck much, much better. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer towards the end of this video, I promise. I'm just saying I think we can all acknowledge that this was nowhere near Edmonton's best effort. The LA Kings were desperate. They did everything they could to pull out the win. They scored 4 goals. In the end, it was not enough. Now, moving forward, what the heck am I doing with my content? Well, of course, tomorrow, day after discussion. Of course, as usual, after a game day, the next day, I do that day after discussion for everyone. And then, I may take Saturday off. I don't know when round 2 begins because Dallas and Colorado are going to Game 7. And then, of course, Winnipeg and St. Louis, they still have Game 6 to play. That series could go 7. So at minimum, the Oilers may have about 4 or 5 days off, though once we know what the NHL schedule is, I will start making content for round 2. I'll have the round 2 predictions. We will discuss the Oilers and Vegas Golden Knights at length. But for now, let's enjoy the win. Let's have some fun. Maybe take a day off, right? Saturday, maybe I'll just take the whole day off. I think Oilers fans also deserve to have the weekend off. It has been high octane, high adrenaline, high pressure, high heart rate the whole first round. No matter what team you're cheering for, it has been unbelievable. Crazy, crazy, crazy times. Now, I know a few of you are going to ask if I'm going to go to another playoff game this year. I'm going to let you know right now, absolutely not. I will be live streaming every single game from the comfort of my office here where I live and in my little man cave, my Oilers room. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. I hope everyone that's tuning in right now has a wonderful night. I hope you have a safe night. Enjoy the partying. Enjoy the fun that you're likely going to have for the next couple of days. Enjoy the win. The Oilers have a long road ahead. They will play Vegas in round 2 after Vegas eliminated Minnesota tonight. And that's all I got. That's all I got, folks. After that game 2 absolute emotional meltdown where I crashed out so hard, the video garnered 11,000 views. That game 2 crash out. And the Oilers ended up winning 4 straight. They eliminate the Kings in 6. Now I look like a crazy person. Love to see it, though. Love to see it. Thank you for your support, Kings fans. Seriously, great series. Handshakes to you through the webcam. Doing my best to, show my support, being a good sport. Kings fans have been great. Oilers fans, if you come across a Kings fan in the comment section, make sure we are all respectful and nice to each other. And of course, everyone that interacts on the Discord or Twitter or X.com, thank you once again. Just hit the like button on tonight's video or today's video, depending on when you're watching. That's all I ask. And as always, tell someone you love them. Fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers. Round 1 is complete. 4 out of 16 wins are complete. Round 2 is going to be even tougher. The Oilers are going to play Vegas. Let's go. We'll see you soon.